Good evening, fellow Tcash merchants. My hope is that we are all doing fine today. My name is Amos, and I also hope that our biasharas are still doing great with the Tcash Soko platform. So, welcome to our session today under the cash sales, records, and statements. Under this session, we're going to learn how to record the cash sales, view the transaction histories for these cash sales, and of course, understand the platform fees. As we journey through this session, I would also want to remind you or let you know that we have done other sessions in the course of the week, starting with Fix Your Shop. You can get to watch these sessions on YouTube because they are already posted there. And of course, get to unpack together with us the advantages and the goodness of the Tcash Soko platform. Hii platform ni amazing platform sana. Kwa nini? It's the platform that is going to help us transform our biasharas. Remember, in our businesses, we have not had like the advantages of having technology integration. And what technology does to a business is it makes the business very efficient. And that is what this platform is coming to do to our businesses. Yani, tumetengenezwa a platform that is cost free to us. We are getting it free of charge. Kitambo, kununua system like this one would have costed money. But now, the developers of the platform have made this free for us. The only thing we are doing is that we are just charged a small transaction fee that you're going to understand today. That platform fee ni kiasi gani, it's how much for any cash transaction that I make. So we are going to understand that they have made a platform free for us. We're only paying a small platform fee, and this platform is helping us to, of course, keep records and data of our day-to-day activities in our biasharas. And of course, as the week progresses, you're going to get to learn what are some of these advantages za kukuwa na clear records. Amongst them being the access to credit, but that is something for another day. Let's get going with the session cash sales. So what are cash sales? Cash sales ni place unauza, ukiuza unalipwa immediately. Na unalipwa via cash method. So cash sales would mean you're not being paid later, you're being paid there and there. So umeuza kitu na unalipwa hapo hapo. So that is cash sales. So that means you're selling and you're getting paid right there. Na hiyo ndio modality most of the business work on. Most of the businesses do not work on pay later kind of an arrangement. Biashara mingi zinapenda ile arrangement ya you work, I pay you. You give me a service, I pay you there and there. And that is how I work. That is how I do my business today. So I'm sharing my app. I'm on the business side of the app. Of course, you can see how the app looks like. There is the business logo icon. A very big advantage having a professional business logo for your business. And of course, you can see on the platform, I'm the owner of the Aura Nails. Aura Nails is a nails kind of a shop. So it's a kind of shop that treats the baby girls. So wanakuja wanatengenezwa makucha. That is the kind of business that I have under the Aura Nails. So I want us to see, how do you make a cash sale? Unaimeka aje? Kumake hiyo cash sale, lazima ukuje hapo chini kabisa on this business side. Remember, you can't sell ukiwa kwa personal side. Kwa personal side, the only thing you can do is to buy, but you can't sell from the personal side. For you to sell, you must be on the business side of your app. So hapa chini kabisa, hapo katikati, there is the option of sell. So that is what I'm going to press. Nikiguza hiyo option ya sell, then it brings these three options to me: the catalog, the express, and the voice assistant. Catalog, tukasema, it's just like the one that is used in supermarkets. We exploited these in our previous session. There is also the express checkout. The express checkout ni yenye you're selling faster when it is very busy. And because I want us to sell faster, I'll use the express checkout. So under the express checkout brings this page to me. For each page, then I have the various categories of the items that I sell, and then I can enter the price. So seminar was something for 100 shillings, and this is under pedicure. So it can be under pedicure, 400 shillings. So then I press on next. Nikiguza next, the options of payment come up. So I want to pay this via the cash because I want it to be a cash sale. So nitauza na cash, and then I confirm. So nikiconfirm, then this purchase is already complete. It tells me, it gives me a tick. Hiyo tick iko pale ni kuonyesha that transaction has already been recorded. So the service fee, ukiangalia hapo chini, and this is now where I want us to understand well what this now means. The service fee for the cash payment will be deducted from your next digital checkout, or you can choose to pay the fee now. What is this fee all about? The app charges us a very small fee, a manageable fee. The fee is 1 shilling for any transaction 100 and below. Transaction yenye inafika 100 na kurudi chini inachajiwa 1 shilling. So ukiangalia, we made a sale of 100. So we were supposed to be charged 1 shilling. The 1 shilling is already there. The fee for this transaction is 1 shilling. And you can see we had a previous cash fee balance of 38.52. So the fee for this transaction is -1, which is now the 1 shilling I was talking about. The remaining balance, ukitoa 38.52, utoe 1, itabaki 37.52. And of course, the cash sales I can do before I settle is 8,752. So I want you to understand this bit of information because it is a very critical information to a business person. Kujua venye pesa yako inatumika. Just like we send money from one network to another network, or within the network, unatumia mtu pesa, there is a service fee that is usually charged for that transaction. In the same way, tukitumia hii app kumake sales, kuna ka service fee kadogo kanachajiwa. This service fee is manageable. Remember, we send for example 1,000 kutumia simu, unapata ukisend 1,000 unachajiwa maybe 10 shillings. In this case, when you're making a transaction, the charges are as follows. It is 1 shilling for any transaction that is below 100 and below, 1 shilling. For any transaction that is above 100, then it is 1% of the transaction money. So 1% inamaanisha aje? Like you'll be charged 1%. 1%, if you're sending 1,000, the 1% of 1,000 is just 10 shillings. If you're selling 2,000, the 1% of 2,000 is 20 shillings. So that is the kind of platform fee yenye imekuwa attached to these services zenye tunapata. Remember, when you pay this platform fee, you get a number of things, or there are a number of advantages that you get. One of the advantage being you're able to now have receipts and records for the kind of sales you have made in the course of the week or in the course of the month. So how do you access the receipt? Ukiangalia hapa kwa under purchase completed, unaona there is the black option or icon that has the view receipt option. So naweza guza hiyo, the black part, view receipt. Nikiguza the view receipt, it shows me the express receipt and it shows me the date and the time when this was done. So inakurekodia a number of things. Normal receipt haita record time. Inaweza record date but haita record time. The normal one that we do in the books. Rarely do we indicate the time. But hii itakuwa very accurate because utakuwa unakumbuka I even sold this item at this hour. And of course, you can see it is a pedicure and the subtotal was 100. The service fee is 1 shilling, and therefore I'm supposed to receive, or my business is supposed to receive 99 shillings if I pay now the 1 shilling. So one thing I want you to understand ni, when your shop is very new, what happens ni, the app gives you 50 shillings to use. Hizo unapewa free of charge. Ukishatumia 50, wanakukopesha another 50. So 50 ya pili kukopesha. It's like a loan on credit. So you have 100 shillings zenye unaweza tumia kumake the cash sales. Unatumia. Once you have exhausted, you cannot make any other sale before you settle that payment. And how do you settle the payment? So let us go and see how you settle the payment. So kuangalia all this information about hizi cash sales, nita move from now this express receipt, niseme that this is done. Nikuje hapa chini kabisa. Hapa chini kabisa, I have the option of orders, sell, and the wallet. Nataka kuenda hapo kwa wallet. Hapo kwa wallet ndio information ya pesa inakuanga. So hapa kwa wallet, the first thing that you see is the Tcash balance. So unaweza kuona that the Tcash balance is 88 shillings. The next information you get to see is the pay later. It shows me that there is no pay later activity. And of course, you can see when you tap the pay later, it opens the pay later and tells me that the total you are owed is 0 shillings, meaning hakuna mtu nadai, hakuna mtu nimeuzia on credit basis. This pay later is not yet active at this point because the app is still new. It doesn't have information about people, and therefore we can't start giving people credit before you have information about their spending habits and the likes. So ukiangalia hapa chini, below the pay later, the transactions I've made zinaapia hapo. I have the option of viewing all. Of course, you can view all. Ukiview all, utaona transactions zote zenye umefanya kwa shop zitakuwa zinaapia hapo. Meaning, this app stores information for you, critical information for your business. You can be able to tap any transaction and get to know what was sold. For example, there is a transaction that was done yesterday at 6:18 p.m. The one that is very down there. Nikiguza, I can see that it has a receipt. It was a 499 shillings. It had a receipt. So if I touch the receipt, I will be able to see what was sold. It was the gel manicure and the nail art. So I can be able to see this receipt. Nani ya jana. So that is one advantage ya make sales using the app. Of course, the kind of records that are kept there. Hii record sio ya cash sales peke yake. Unaweza kuwa umereceive money using Tcash Soko. So unaona it is appearing there. Just besides the all. Una hiyo option. But because we have not received money from Tcash Soko, anybody with the Tcash Soko, then of course ina appear 0. External wallet 0, but the cash sales zote zinaapia hapo under that category ya cash. So that is the advantage, the fact that you can be able to review these transactions even on a later date. So what are we looking for? We are looking for, where do I get to settle these platform fees? Nitajua nimebakisha ngapi hivyo. Where do you get to find that information from? Pale juu kabisa, on your right hand side, you have 2 icons. Kuna moja ya $sign, kuna ingine inakaa graph. So I want us to tap the $sign. Hiyo ndio ya cash payment. So ukiguza hiyo $sign, inakuonyesha au inakuleta kwa hii screen yenye iko na information about the cash payment. So cash payments, so it shows me that platform service fee balance for the cash sale is 37.52. It tells me to settle before you reach -50. So now you understand what I was talking about initially. I said that when you open a shop or when your shop is very new, unapewa 50 shillings na app. So the app si ati ni watu wabaya, they are giving you 50 shillings for free. Uzitumie ku make cash sales as you learn how to use the platform. So the 50 shillings hakuna mtu atakudai. That is free money given to you. utumie. Ukishaitumia then they're giving you a loan of another 50. So that means in total uko na pesa ngapi unaweza tumia before you settle anything kwa app? 100 shillings. Hiyo 100 shillings ni enough to make sales za up to 10,000. So unaweza uza up to 10,000 kama hujai lipa anything kwa app. So however, there is something that is written hapa chini that I want us to read together so that we can get to understand. It tells us if you do not wish to regularly settle the service fee for cash payment, then you can top up in advance. And it tells us that the platform service fee for cash payment are then deducted from the topped up amount. So what does that mean? Unaweza kuwa ni mwanabiashara mkubwa, or wewe by the way umeshafanya hesabu yako, unajua hii platform juu inanisaidia, I just want to use it kabisa kabisa. So you can just load it with money. Because one thing I have to inform you ni ati the moment utakuwa umefikisha -50, hautaweza kumake sales using the app. Itabidi umelipa kwanza. So instead of having those inconveniences, and maybe you have so many customers in a certain day or during a certain say season, depending. For example, most of our shops zinakuwa very busy wakati kuna holidays, especially a holiday like the December holidays. During that time, most businesses are very busy. They are attending to so many customers. So that time, if you're using the platform, you know you will definitely spend a lot in the platform fee. So unaweza weka your dough already ikaange huko kwa app. So how do you put that money? Utakuja hapa chini, you enter the amount. Or rather, tuseme I want to top up this, ifike 50 venye ilikuwa, so that I always have 50. Tuseme at the end of the day mi nataka ibakingi 50, so nitakuwa nakuja hapa, nikikuja hapa hapo chini na enter the amount. So the amount hapa, you put the amount that you would want to top up. Because I have 37, let me just confirm, I have 37.52. So I can add 12 shillings or 13 shillings ndio nifike 50. So nikiandika 13, then naguza top up. Then of course, I'll just press on top up. Sita press cancel, nita press on top up. Nikiguza hiyo top up, then you can see that my payment is being processed. And of course, we are told that the payment is successful. And it is telling me that my cash checkout fees is settled and I can continue doing the cash payment. So I'll just say done. So because now this is done, unaona hapa juu hii fee imetoka 37 imefika 50. Yani the balance for the fee. So I can use up to 50 shillings comfortably na nitumie tena hii 50 ingine to make it 100.52 comfortably to make the cash sales. Remember, to settle this, lazima ukuwe na pesa kwa Tcash wallet yako. My Tcash wallet balance was 88 shillings. Nime top up 12 shillings. So nitabaki na ngapi? 88 minus 12. So that means nitabaki na around 88 minus 12. That will be 76. Nitabaki na 76 shillings. So if I move back, nafaa Tcash balance yangu, when I refresh it, irudi 76 shillings. 75. Actually, it's 75 shillings. I had 87. Yeah, I had 87. So it goes to 70. Yeah, I had 87. It goes to 75. 87 minus 12, it goes. No, we minus 13, not 12. It was 88, we minus 13. So it goes to 75 shillings. That is how you can be able to top up this cash fee balance. So tumesema unaitopia app wapi? Unaitopia app hapa kwa the dollar sign at the very top. At the very top there are 3 icons zenye ziko hapo. On the left hand side, kwa mkono yako left uko na an icon that looks like inquiry. an I, hiyo ni ya kuinquire in case you are connected or not connected to the Tcash wallet. Nikiguza hiyo inaniambia the Tcash balance will show up here if you are connected, if you have connected your Tcash wallet there. And because I have done so, so then mine is showing up here. On my right hand side, kuna the dollar sign icon. Kiguza the dollar sign icon, then it shows me now the platform fee balances. Hapo ndio utakuwa unakuja when you want to settle this platform fee thing. Remember, unaweza enter any amount you would want here based on the volume of sales that you make. However, I would advise usiweke pesa mingi sana because, you know, as a business person, you would want to have money in stock rather than on a platform stored as platform fee. So my advice would be, let us have an amount that maybe we spend on a day-to-day basis. After you've used the platform, I use maybe a fee of maybe 100 per day, a fee of maybe 50 shillings per day, depending on the sales una make. You can even do this calculation, by the way, ndio ujue unahitaji pesa ngapi. You just look at the average sales zenye una make per day. Kama sales zako ni 10,000, you need 100. You just know that I need 100. Kama sales zako ni 20,000, you need roughly 200. So unaweza ziweka hata in advance zikaange hapo kwa system, so that you are not encountering challenges when you are making the cash sales. So that is all about that icon and what you can do with the cash sale fees. So besides that dollar sign icon, there is that icon that has the graph. I want us to also touch it na tujue nini iko hapo. Nikiguza hiyo icon ya graph, inanileta kwa sales insights. Hizi sales insights ni nini? Ni hiyo information unaona iko recorded. Let me just move back a bit. Kuna hii information hapa chini yenye tu review kwanza. Tukasema inakuletea the cash payments zote and you can be able to view all. All this information is used by the app to come up with what we refer to as sales insights. Remember, this platform is AI enabled. Being AI enabled, inaweza multitask on a number of things. So wewe unauza tu, but the app itself is getting some information about your business. Na inaweza kusaidia to come up with some insights about the kind of sales or the kind of business that you're doing currently. So nikiguza hiyo graph option that is besides the dollar sign icon, then it shows me the sales overview. So naweza kuja hapa kwa sales insights na ni view the sales overview. Under the sales overview, I'll be able to see the number of sales, the total sales I've made, and the total transactions I've made for the entire month. Remember, ukiangalia hapo juu, this is March. March is what is in blue. Meaning, the information naona hapa ni ya March. Nikitaka kwenda February, taguza tu February 2026. Utaona the information now changes. So I just want to go back to March. Ukiangalia for the month of March, I've made sales worth 1,248 shillings. In how many transactions? As I swipe to the right, in 4 transactions. So when you divide these two, 1,248 divided by 4, meaning average yangu ya transaction moja ilikuwa ni 312 shillings. Then I also get the peak sales. Which day did I sell the most? The day is Tuesday. That is the best performing day, because inaangalia nini ndio ikupee the best performing day, the number of sales you have made and their worth. So ikiangalia between Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays and Friday, inaona that Tuesdays has been the best performing day. The busiest time period, inaona the app is very busy between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. So that is why it is showing me that this is when I'm very busy. And of course, the sales trends can also be seen there for the last 6 months, because the app has been new and was just launched in the month of February. That's why you can see hapa kwa March ndio nimeuza tu, but February I don't have sales, January sina, December, November, October. So you cannot blame me for not having sales for those months because I didn't have the app. But now that I have the app, you can see that my March trends are already showing or going in a positive direction. So that is how you can be able to benefit, or you can be able to view this information. Why is this information about the sales overview important? Kitu kama kujua the best performing day inakuwa important kwako as a business person because unaweza kuamua that on this day siwezi funga biashara because it's usually my peak day. So kuna activities utakuwa una avoid ama una ensure wakazi wako wana avoid on that day because it's your best performing day. Ukiangalia the busiest time pia itakuwa inakusaidia kujua tutakuwa tunaenda lunch saa ngapi, at what time can I give a person off, because I trust and believe all of us have this ambition ya ku offer employment to people, and this is the beauty of business, the fact that you become a source of employment, the fact that una employ watu, una providea watu na jobs. So the busiest time period will dictate the time utakuwa unapea off wafanyakazi wako wapate hiyo lunch hour. Remember, giving a person lunch hour is very important, sababu anaweza kurudi akiwa fresh in their mind. So but that can be dictated by the busiest time period. So ukiona busiest time period ni from 2 to 4 p.m, unaweza mwambia ende lunch from maybe 12:30 to 1:30. So that will mean by 2 atakuwa kwa shop akiwa well settled and ready to make the sales. So that is all about the cash sales, the records, how they are kept, and the statement. And this is the importance of this statement, the fact that they are able to generate the fact that they are able to generate the sales insights for your business. What have you learned today? We have learned that it is important for us to record the cash sales. Why is it important? The fact that once we record them, then the platform gets to have information about our business. And this information is kept as data that we can also see and use to make decisions. So you know the importance ya to make sales using the platform. Something else I'll have to mention me, the fact that once we make this transaction, we ought to know, or we have to know that they attract a small fee. The transactions that we make definitely attract a small fee, and the kind of fee they attract is just a manageable fee. 1% for any transaction that is above 100 shillings, and 1 shilling for any transaction that is below 100 shillings. So it is important that we know that, and let us ensure that we settle the cash fee balance before we get to negative 50. So that brings us to the end of our session. In case you have any question, kindly get to me via the comment section. I'll be ready and willing to help you get to understand the cash sales, records, and statements as soon as I see your questions. Otherwise, have a great evening. See you in our next session. Thank you.